Alright, so here it is all finished, and I guess we can start with the show side scale. And I'm really pleased with how these turned out. Again, this is the Black Dunes Fat Carbon. Just an awesome material. It just really gives a cool illusion. But I didn't record it in the middle section of the video, but I did create these flat spots here at the top front and the bottom end here. See if I can get this on camera. Nice little flat spot, just to give the flat looking scales just something unique, and really pleased with it. It does expose a different reflection of how that material reacts to the light, so really pleased with it, and it feels a little bit better in hand and just better than a boring flat design. So really happy with those. I did with the pivot collars, I gave them a satin finish just so they're a lot cleaner. This is the only thing on the knife that is satin finished, so I think it just has a really good contrast with the black scales. Another thing I did was I etched and stonewashed the liners and the blade here, and as you guys can see, I did create a hamon etch to it. I'm really a big fan of it lately. Obviously this isn't a natural hamon, it wasn't heat treated this way, but I just like that illusion. I think it looks pretty cool. And I did make the higher points on the hamon a little bit more pointy, since this knife is very pointy and it's just got sharp edges to it. I think it complements it very well. So really pleased with that. And more than likely I'll do a video in the future on how to do this. It just involves some nail polish. Gave it a fresh edge. I was considering doing a custom pocket clip, but this is titanium and it's a really nice material, so I didn't want to mess with it too much. But other than that, that is all I did to it. So let's put it together and see what it looks like. Alright, so here it is all put together. I'm really happy with that fat carbon. It just does its thing in the light. Really addicting. I do like the etched and stonewashed blade and liners, which blends in very well, makes it a little bit more subtle. Then you do have the satin finish pivot collars that gives it some pop. And we'll check out the action, which should be good, and it is. Didn't really have to do much to make it work properly, since it is full liners. But there is the hamon etched and stonewashed blade. Really pleased with that look. I think it turned out really good. Let me know down below what you guys think of that blade. But I did do, since we do have these really high contrast satin finish pivot collars, what I did do is I created some pivot collars out of the same material, and I'll put a quick video up right now. You guys can check it out and see the difference. But as you can tell, it's very subtle, very stealthy, if you will. Just really nice and dark. Goes really well with it, I think. But I am more of a fan of the satin finished pivot collars. But I do think they both look great. But I am leaning more towards the satin finish just because it just pops more. You do have that contrast. But overall, the Pretatout is just an awesome knife. I definitely need to get another one, since this is going to a close friend of mine. It's going to be a gift when I go on my trip, which I'll be going here shortly, but I think he's going to like it. And action is amazing on this knife. I mean, very drop shut. You barely have to wiggle the knife to get it to drop shut, but it's an overall really cool design. I do like the multiple ways of opening it, the flipper tab, the thumb studs, so you can use those, or you can actually use this fuller here to spidey flick as well, which is really nice. One thing I wanted to mention with the flats that I created here on the top and the back section here on the bottom is when you're gripping this knife, it actually feels really comfortable in hand. Since this does sit in your palm here on the bottom, it kind of makes it feel just a little bit slimmer, more pleasant in hand. And even with the reverse grip, since your palm is riding on the upper section of the knife, it just kind of vanishes. It doesn't feel as blocky. But the little contouring or beveled edge around the scales also makes it feel good in hand. But again, just wanted to give a unique design, and it does make it feel just a little bit better in hand. Let me know what you guys think down below of how this thing turned out. I'm really happy with it. Definitely a dark themed, stealthy look, which I was going for. So really pleased with that. As always, you guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.